All right, John, how's it going?
Doing great. How are you?
I'm hanging in there, taking life a day at a time. Could you please introduce us to yourself and tell us about your upbringing, what led you to the Air Force?
My name is Jonathan Williams, Jonathan A. Williams. And I always knew from a young age that I was going to do military service.
Mhm.
Uh, and it was just something I looked up to. All the men in my family had been in the service. I just thought it was my turn too. Fathers, brothers, uncles, everybody, right? No one really, nobody skipped. And I stayed there for 21 years.
Exactly did your love for filmmaking begin?
The first time I saw Star Wars: A New Hope, that was where it started. I watched that movie, and I guess I must have been 7 or 8, something like that. It got to near the end of the movie, near the climax of the movie, when the X-wings are flying towards the Death Star, and those wings opened up. I was done. As a 7-year-old, that was the coolest thing I'd ever seen in my whole life. And the very next thought after I thought that was, how do you make that? Like, how do you invent this? How do you create this moment? And from then I wanted to be a storyteller.
Star Wars got me into like the sci-fi realm of things. Unfortunately, it was the prequels, so we'll talk about that another time. When did it occur to you that it was time to call it good with the military, to close that military chapter in your life?
I wasn't sure. And I was told by some veteran friends of mine who were ahead of me and had already retired, they said, you're not going to be able to predict. It's just one day it hits you. And that's kind of how it was. Like one day I thought, I'm okay. This is it. I'll put in now. And as we refer to it as pushing the button, right? Is one day you're ready to push the button and you're okay with it. Like you've made your peace with it. And that's how it was with me.
Because I've had some texts and master sergeants say that when airmen get out, 4 to 6 years is throwing the towel, throwing in the towel. So but it's all in love. When did it hit you? You're now Mr. Williams, not Master Sergeant Williams.
Oof. There was a time, I can't remember the exact day. Uh, there's this weird feeling the last time you drive off the base as an active duty member. And there's an emotional something, and you just feel like you lost it because it's over, right? The camaraderie's over, but I didn't feel dread, and some people do, and it's okay to. Uh, I was really eager for that next chapter because I had a feeling in my heart and in my chest. I know what's waiting for me out there, so I got to go get it. It's time now. I can go get it. Let's go. And so I guess my emotions were a little different than some, but it's safe to say it's an emotional event.
Tying that into filmmaking, has it helped you with like the physical and mental reconciliation of the fact that you're a civilian now?
Maybe. Um, I had somewhere to go, and I think that helps. When hey, I'm going to stop doing this thing and I'm going to go do this thing now. And I think that helps. That just helps because this part's over, but it's okay because I'm going towards this thing over here. If I didn't have anything to look forward to, I think it would have been a different experience. And I can't say how I would have taken that.
For your interests outside of filmmaking, what are they actually? And do you ever see yourself intertwining them into film?
That's already happened. So my big passion in life, telling stories, and no matter what the medium, and racing cars. I love doing both. And I've already done some stunt driving. I've done some stunt driving training for film, and so that's that integration there with two of my loves, right? If I could transition into being a professional driver, I would. But I'm a little old to be starting, right? But I'm still fast.
This is the question that a lot of veterans and I would want to ask veterans like you. What is your advice for a fellow veteran that is actively integrating into the civilian world, and attempting to reinvent themselves? What advice would you give us?
Okay, what kind of human am I going to be on the outside? Or what's my goal out there what do I want to be good with? What do I want to be good with my hands? Make furniture, paint? I don't know. Maybe just vacation places and travel, or whatever. I want to be really good at fishing. It's going to be a little scary, you know. It takes getting used to getting that freedom back to make that choice. But if you work it backwards, what kind of person do I want to be, and what do I want to be good at, and what do I want to be known for? Then all your choices make that true, and they all make sense.